ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। As part of the monthly Bhagavad Gita discussion, this is the fifth in the series from this year. We are going to read and discuss a little bit about Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 18. The verse is Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmadyudhyasva bharataha. Read two more times. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmadyudhyasva bharata. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya tasmadyudhyasva bharata. Synonyms, word by word. Antavantah, perishable. Ime, all these. Deha, material bodies. Nityasya, eternal in existence. Uktaha, are said. Sharirinaha, of the embodied soul. Anashinaha, never to be destroyed. Aprameyasya, immeasurable. Tasmat, therefore. Yudhyasva, fight. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The material body is perishable by nature. It may perish immediately, or it may do so after 100 years. It is a question of time only. There is no chance of maintaining it indefinitely. But the spirit soul is so minute that it cannot even be seen by an enemy, to say nothing of being killed. As mentioned in the previous verse, it is so small that no one can have any idea how to measure its dimension. So from both viewpoints, there is no cause of lamentation, because a living entity, as he is, cannot be killed, nor can the material body be saved for any length of time or permanently protected. The minute particle of the whole spirit acquires this material body according to his work, and therefore observance of religious principles should be utilized. In the Vedanta Sutras, the living entity is qualified as light, because he is part and parcel of the supreme light. As sunlight maintains the entire universe, so the light of the soul maintains this material body. As soon as the spirit soul is out of this material body, the body begins to decompose. Therefore, it is the spirit soul which maintains this body. The body itself is unimportant. Arjuna was advised to fight and not sacrifice the cause of religion for material bodily considerations. The verses Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktaha sharirina anashino aprameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata. Before we discuss, just say some prayers in glorification of the Acharyas and the Guru Parampara and the Lord Shri Krishna himself. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नाम श्रेष्ठं मनुमपि शचिपुत्रम् अत्र स्वरूपम्। रूपं तस्याग्रजं मुरुपुरीं माथुरीं गोष्ठावतीम्। राधाकुण्डं गिरिवरं महो राधिका माधवाशम्। प्राप्तो यस्य प्रथितकृपया श्रीगुरुं तं नतोऽस्मि। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणललिता साग्रजातं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. This verse is saying Antavanta ime deha nityasyuktaha sharirina anashino aprameyasya tasmadyudhyasva bharata. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata. This second chapter, which is called as a contents of the Gita summarized, or Sankhya Yoga in Sanskrit, is Krishna is giving a lot of details here in terms of the eternal nature of all the living entities. So this particular verse is also diving in depth about what is the eternal nature of all the living entities. So Krishna says in this verse, Antavanta ime deha. So this body has got an end. So the material body, because it takes birth, it has a time for death as well. So this is called the duality of the material nature. So dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sangair gacchantyamoda padam avyayam tat. So dvandva is the nature of this material world, and therefore Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what are the qualities of a person who is qualified to come out of the material influences? The first quality is nirmana moha. So first quality is that a person does not have pride. So the pride is caused by the false ego. So when the false ego is there, the person thinks that this body is me and the mind and intelligence is mind and intelligence, and that's what causes the pride. So when the false ego is removed, then the pride is automatically gone. So therefore, this verse Nirmana Moha says that person who is without any pride, so has taken off the false ego. Nirmana Moha. Moha is attachment. Again, attachment is coming from false ego, because when one thinks that one is this temporary body, then the body has got attachment towards other things. The body mind conglomerate has got attachment to other things. So this is what is causing the bondage in the material world. So therefore it is nirmana moha, no attachment, jita sanga dosha. The next is one who has conquered the attachments. So all kinds of attachments, one who has conquered. Jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya. So one is constantly in devotional service, adhyatma, one who is constantly trying to get inside and understand the eternal nature that we have ever present within us. So adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama, and one who is taken off all the passionate attachments. Dvandvaya vimukta. So the next is that verse where it is said that the person is free from the dualities. So the material world is based on dualities, as we are discussing, because antavanta, because the body takes birth at a certain point of time, and because it takes birth, it has to die. So that is the duality. So that's why if we want to avoid death, then we have to avoid birth as well. It is that's the concept here. So and the birth can be avoided when we understand that the original us is never born. So nityasyokta. So this is the next line in this verse. Nityasyokta. So eternal in existence. So the body is perishable, but the real person inside the body, who is eternal, is imperishable, and that person we are. We are the eternally existing people. So so न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So this is Krishna says this another verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna is saying that na jayate mriyate va kadachit. So at any point of time, the real person within us, who is the source of all the activities that we do. So even though we have the material body, but if that spark of spirit, which we really are, is not, if it is not present inside us, then we won't be able to do anything. So that is the difference between a living person and a dead person. That spark of living being that is there inside. And that spark is eternally related to Bhagavan. So that's why Krishna says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manashashtani Indriyani, Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So all the living entities are my eternal part and parcels. So Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So it is eternally part and parcel. So at no point of time we are not part and parcels of the Lord. We are always part and parcels of the Lord. So the only effort needed is to understand that we are eternally related to the Lord. That is the only effort needed, because the connection is already there. The connection is never broken. The connection with the Lord is eternally established connection. The only endeavor needed is to understand that there is this connection already existing. So this is what Krishna says in so this na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano. So aja is unborn. So that we really are. We are never born. The material body gets born, but the spirit behind the material body, which animates the material body, which gives life to the material body, which using which all the actions are performed by the material body, is unborn. So the spirit soul is never born, and that spirit soul we are. So this is what there are Vedic aphorisms that say Tattvamasi. So that you are, thou art that. So what is that? That is the eternal. the eternal living being. So here Krishna is saying Nityasyukta Sharirina. So this Sharirina is the spark, the spirit spark that possesses the Sharira, the Deha. Deha is the body, and Sharira is also called as the body. So Sharirina is the one who actually is the owner of the body. So why is the spirit soul the owner of the body? Because without the spirit soul, the body cannot do anything. All the life is coming from the spirit soul. So Krishna is saying here that the body is destructible, but the the person who possesses the body, who is the owner of the body, is eternal, and that we are. We are not this. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about how dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantaram prapti dhiras tatra na mohyati. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that there is the proprietor of the body within the body. Dehi no asmin yatha dehe. So this is the same thing, sharirina. So the same concept is applied here. Dehinosmin yatha dehi. Because there is a proprietor of the body within the body, there is dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. So this progression of the body takes place from the childhood to youthhood to old age, and tatha dehantaram prapti. So similarly, at a certain point, the body will need to be given up. Dhiras tatrana mohyati. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that therefore a sober person is not bewildered by these changes. So this is the nature of the material world. That's why it's called the material world, because it's made up of matter. The bhumirapo analo vayu khammana buddhirevacha ahankaram itiyam me bhinna prakritir ashtadha. So Krishna says that there is this earth, water, fire, air, and the space, the ether, and then mind, intelligence, and false ego. So these are my 8 separated energies. And all these energies are the constituents of this material world. And that's why it is matter. But aparayam itastu anyam viddhi me prakritim param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedham dharyate jagat. So Krishna says that superior to all these separated energies of me, the 8 separated energies, itastu anyam viddhi me prakriti param. So there is a superior energy. So the transcendental energy, and that is jiva bhutam mahabaho. Jiva bhuta, the living entities. Mahabaho. So Krishna is addressing Arjuna as the person with great strength, great shoulders, shouldering the responsibility of this whole war of Mahabharata. So Mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. And the living entity is, because the living entity is the spark, direct part and parcel of the Lord. Mamayvamsho jiva loke, jiva bhuta, sanatana. So because of that, dharyate jagat, the living entity is able to control the inferior energies. So we are able to use say for example, if you are making the skyscrapers and different buildings and all the other things, how are we able to do it? Because of the khammana buddhi revacha, because buddhi is there. So because the intelligence is there, the intelligence is being used to develop these places where we can have better life. So this is the main. This is where so there is nothing wrong in taking care of the body nicely and maintaining it. The only thing is, if that is the only activity that is being done without trying to understand our eternal nature, then it is unfortunate loss of the human form of life. So that is very beautifully mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nrideha madhyam sulabham sudurlabham. Says that this nrideham is the human form of body. So this deham, that the same word is used. Nrideham madhyam sulabham sudurlabham. So even though it is obtained easily, but it is very rarely attained. So uh, so once we have the human body, it is a great asset. So नृदेहमाद्यं सुलभं सुदुर्लभं प्लवं सुकल्पं गुरुकर्णधारम. So this it's like a boat. Plavam is a boat. It's a beautifully crafted boat, and or the ship. So it is a ship. Guru Karnadharam, and the spiritual master is the captain of that ship. Guru Karnadharam. Mayanu kulena nabhasvatiritam puman bhavadbhim nataret sa atmaha. And uh, the favorable winds are being blown by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So this world is compared to an ocean. It's a huge ocean of, that's why it's called Bhavasagar, Bhavadbhim. So it's an ocean of birth and death. So this is what the material world is. There is constantly someone is born and someone is dying. Someone is born and someone is dying. So that's the constant flux in this material world. So that's why it's called Bhavadbhim. So this is so it's an ocean of continuous birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Iha sansare bahudustare, kripaya pare pahi murare. So this is a very beautiful verse by Shankaracharya, where in the Bhajagovindam, where he is saying that what is the nature of this material world? So it is punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So continuously being born and continuously dying. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi janani jatare shayanam. And constantly being in the womb of different mothers. Punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Iha sansare bahudustari. So it's very extremely difficult to overcome this constant cycle of birth and death. Bahudustare, kripaya pare pahi murare. So what Sri Shankaracharya is saying in that verse of Bhajagovindam is, O Murare, O the enemy of Demon Mura, please bestow your costless mercy upon me so that I can be able to cross this seemingly very insurpassable ocean of birth and death. So this is the Nrideha Madhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayanukulena Nabhasvatiritam. So Krishna is blowing the favorable winds. Puman Bhavadbhip Nataret Sa Atmaha. Such, and with all these facilities being available, if a person is not able to cross the ocean of birth and death, such a person is unfortunately Atmaha. Unfortunately, they are not utilizing their potency. So the potency is there. The internal potency of the Lord is there within all the living entities. So Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabonai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karay Uday. So this eternal love for the Lord is established in the hearts of all the living entities. It's not there is nothing external. It's not something that is external to us. It is there is nothing closer to us than the love for the Lord. It is the closest thing that we have. Because dhyana avastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogina. So this is the Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanina Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. So he is there always within the heart. The Lord is present in the heart. He is there. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati Tasyaham Na Pranashyami Sacha Me Na Pranashyati. So Krishna says that one who sees me everywhere and everything in me. such a person never forgets me, and I never forget such a person. Such a mena pranashiti. So this is the it's the eyes that is needed to see the Lord. So premanjana chuvita. So the eyes has to be anointed with love for the Lord. So when the eyes are anointed with love for the Lord, then bhakti vilochanena. So it's full of loving devotional service for the Lord. Then santas sadaiva hridayashu vilokyanti. What happens in that case is that the devotee of the Lord is constantly sadaiva finding the Lord within the heart. So dhyayatas charanam bhojam bhava nirjita chetasa outkantyashru kalakshasya hridime asin shane hari. So this is said by Narada Muni. So what is the how does the unalloyed devotee thinking about the Lord? He's thinking the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is Narada Muni saying dhyayatas charanam bhojam. So it's a lotus feet of the Lord. Bhava nirjita chetasa. There, the unalloyed devotee is full of loving devotional sentiments for the Lord and meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Then what happens? Outkantyashru kalakshasya. Then there is tears coming from the eyes because of seeing the divine lotus feet of the Lord. So that because that linking is eternally there. It is never at no point of time that linking has gone. And because a person is trying to remember the Lord is giving that opportunity. So this is Tesham evanu kampartham aham tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Krishna says that one who is trying to tesham satata yuktanam, so one who is constantly trying to yuktanam, to get to understand the eternal connection with me, because it's only the remembrance of that eternal connection that is needed. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Bhajatam priti purvakam. One is rendering loving devotional service to the Lord with lots of love. Priti purvakam. Dadhami buddhi yogam tam. So Krishna is saying that to such a person I give them the intelligence. And this intelligence is the intelligence of devotional service. The intelligence of engaging oneself in loving devotional service of the Lord. Tesham satataktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam. So to such a person, Krishna is saying that I give them the intelligence. What kind of intelligence is that? Yena mam upayantite. Using that intelligence, such a person can come back to me. This is the nityasyukta sharirina. This is the thing. So when we understand our eternal nature, then we know that eternal nature is actually coming from Bhagwan. So there are different states that we are always in during every day. There are different states. So it's called Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti. Jagrata avastha, or the state of when we are woken up, when we are awake. So that is one state. In the morning when we wake up from the sleep, that is one state, Jagrata. Then when we are going to sleep, there is at a certain point there is a swapna state as well. There is a dream. So in that dream state, we sometimes we are imagining of what happened already in the woken up state, and then adding some things to it, and that becomes a dream. So there is a dream state, and then there is sushupti. So this is the deep sleep state. So in the deep sleep state, the person is oblivious to everything else. And this state is because what is the reason the body needs sleep? Because it is going into that state where there is no activity being done. It is at a state of pure So the Sushupti state, the deep sleep state, is a state where there is nothing. The mind is also not doing anything. Otherwise, what is during the waking state and during the dream state, the mind is always doing something. During the waking state, the mind is interpreting things. So we are seeing something, and the mind is interpreting it in a particular way. And each mind is different. Every individual has got their own unique mind, and that's why they view the universe in their own unique way. So this is what mind is doing. Mind is interpreting. Every time we see something, it's interpreting that, oh, this is this, this is this. And then in the dream state, the mind is actually creating those dreams. But in the deep sleep state, what is happening is the mind is totally in a state where it is not doing anything. And that's why the deep sleep gives a person a lot of rejuvenation. So once a person gets out of the deep sleep, a good deep sleep, and when they get up in the morning, they feel rejuvenated. They feel like, okay, now I'm ready to do this day's activities. And this is an interesting fact here. So in the deep sleep state, a person has got nothing. There is it is a state where there is no perception of anything possessing anything. Totally not possessing anything. And that state, when it is done while we are awake, that is the state of dhyana, or nearly samadhi. So that state, when a person in a similar state as deep sleep, but in the waking state, that is like dhyana and nearly samadhi, and that is called the turiya, the fourth state. So the fourth state is this Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kamshati, samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. So this is a fourth state where the living entity is total understanding and total practical application of that understanding that one is eternal. So and in that state, because there is no birth and death, there is no disease and old age, janma mrityu jara vyadhi. So this is the, in the material world, this is the four main difficulties because of the material body. There is material body takes birth. Because there is birth, there is mrityu, there is death, and in between birth and death, there is jara and vyadhi. So there is old age and there are diseases. So therefore when this identification with the material body is there, that creates all the difficulties, and that's where the abhinivesha comes. So there is pancha klesha in yoga. It is said that there are 5 different kleshas. Kleshas or doshas. It is difficulties that the living entity has, and it starts with avidya, ignorance, the ignorance of our eternal existence. That is the first cause of all the miseries that it's all actually so-called miseries, because these miseries are not affecting the eternal self. It is affecting the body, it is affecting the mind and intelligence and those external factors, but the soul is totally untouched by it. So therefore that is the therefore it is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So when one knows that all these external changes are just coming and going, they have no real essence as such, then, and the real essence is in our eternality, in our eternal existence, then one becomes totally joyful, because there is nothing to gain or there is nothing to lose. The whole problem happens. So that is because of avidya. So and therefore there is this beautiful verse, preme bhakti yaha hote avidya vinashe na yate. So this is this glorifying Guru Vandana. This beautiful statement, preme bhakti yaha hote avidya vinashe yate. So when there is this loving devotional service to the Lord, the avidya automatically goes away. This ignorance automatically goes away. So that's why this ज्ञानं वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रायोजिता जानति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च यद अहेतुकम. So this when there is devotional service, when there is loving devotional service to Vasudeva Krishna, bhakti yoga prayojita, so it is full of bhakti, full of love for the Lord and attachment for the Lord, then janayati ashu vairagyam. And what is happening is immediately one gets detached from everything material because one is directly getting attached to the Lord. And jnanam chayad ahetukam. So this costless knowledge, transcendental knowledge, is also bestowed as byproducts of rendering devotional service to the Lord. So this avidya is there. That is the first klesha. So which is when we get a material body, the first misery is this ignorance, the ignorance of thinking that I am this external dress. So vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinadi naroparani tatha shariraya vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. The Krishna says that just as a person gives up the old cloth and puts on a new cloth, so similarly the soul gives up the old body and puts on a new body. So it's like a cloth. The cloth is not the body. Similarly, the body is not the self, the eternal self. The body is just a dress for the eternal self. But because there is avidya, there is ignorance, one gets to the state of asmita. This is the state where one is having the false ego. So the ignorance is causing the one to think that this body is me. So once we start thinking that I am this body, then there is raga and dvesha. There is attachment and there is repulsions. So this body and this mind and this intelligence has got attachment to certain things and it is repelled by some other things. This happens. So the first is the ignorance. The ignorance is causing the false ego. The false ego is causing attachment and repulsions. Those are the four. And the fifth is called abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is the fear of death. So this is the greatest fear in this material world. Again, it's starting where? From avidya. So because the ignorance is thinking, because of ignorance, person is thinking that I am this body. That means I have taken birth. That means I will die. But actually, it's just a dress. It's not the dress cannot be there eternally. It becomes old. It is matter. So similarly, body is also matter. So it becomes old. It can get diseases because it is matter. But this is what anashino aprameyasya. So this is the next line Krishna is saying here. Anashina. So never to be destroyed. This is the nasha. So nasha is something that can be destroyed. When it is something material, it can be destroyed. But the spirit can never be destroyed. The spirit soul, because it is part and parcel of the Lord, it has got the same qualities as the Lord in very minute proportion. So Satchidananda Vigraha, Krishna said, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. This is said about Krishna in Brahma Samhita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Ishvara Parama Krishna, is Krishna, and he is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is full of eternality, knowledge, and bliss. Satchit Ananda Vigraha is an embodiment of eternality, knowledge, and bliss. Anadi, he's got no beginning, but he is Adi. He is the beginning of everything. The Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Samavita. Krishna says that one who knows that I am the cause of everything. From me, everything comes. Matta sarvam pravartate. One who knows this, iti matva, bhajante mam. What does such a person do? Then person engages in loving devotional service of the Lord. How does the person engage? Bhava samanvita, with full emotions, with full engagement. And such a person is Buddha, is very intelligent. So that is a real use of intelligence that can be done in human form of life, where it is used the mind also. So all these instruments of the body, mind, and intelligence are being used to go inside and understand what our real nature is. Coming back to this sushupti, so this deep sleep. So in the deep sleep, there is no possession of anything, and that is the greatest happiness at that time. So similarly, in the Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, there is a joyful state because there is nothing to gain, there is nothing to lose. The na shochati, na kangshati. So there is no hankering and there is no lamentation because the soul, the spirit soul is eternal, eternally existing, and does not need anything. Material body, material mind, material intelligence might need things. In terms of material body needs some food to eat, it needs the air to breathe, to exist. So the pranavayu. So the material body has needs, but the spirit soul's only need is, so that is a Turyatita stage. That is also a stage mentioned in the scriptures. So after the fourth stage is Brahmabhuta stage. So we are saying the waking. So that is Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, Turya, and Turyatita, the fifth stage, which transcends the fourth stage. The fourth stage is the Brahmabhuta stage, where the person knows that not only knows but is fully experiencing that they are eternal. So that's and then in that state, Mad Bhakti Labhate Param. So that's the last line of that verse. Na shochati na kangshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu. So this is also very beautiful words where Krishna says that in that state one is equal to all the living entities. So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. So this is said in Krishna says that the real Pandita, the real person in knowledge, when he sees Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmana, when he sees a Brahmana, he sees a cow, he sees a elephant, Hastini, he sees a dog, he sees a dog eater, he sees so many different kinds of people, but he's seeing that everyone is part and parcel of the Lord. This is Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Then what happens? Mad Bhakti Labhate Param. So this is the fifth stage. It's actually after the Purushartha, the Panchama Purushartha, as it is said. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So that's another kind of 4 and 5 kind of thing. So the Purusharthas are the Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So the Dharma is engaging in religious activities, and Artha is getting the material wealth, so that it's like that wealth should be used for religious activities again. So it's a cycle there. Dharma, Artha, Kama. Kama is engaging in the sense gratificatory activities, and then finally moksha. So moksha is liberation from. But this is moksha laguta krit. So this bhakti is called moksha laguta krit. So even moksha is not in front of bhakti. Moksha is also not that important. So Daivena na phalati divya kishora murti Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Asman Dharmartha Kamagataya Samaya Pratiksha. So this is said by Bilva Mangala Thakur that this dharma, so Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Asman. It is said that Mukti Devi is is standing with folded hands in front of the unalloyed devotee of the Lord. What to speak of Dharma, Artha, and Kama? They are just the kind of lower states. The mukti itself, bhakti stvai bhagavata bhagwan yadi syad, daivena na phalati divya kishora murti, mukti swayam mukulitanjali sevate asman, dharmartha kama gataya samaya pratiksha. So the bhakti stvai bhagavata bhagwan yadi syad. So one was unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Daivena na phalati divya kishora murti, towards the transcendental form of Radha and Krishna. Then the bestower of liberation is standing with folded hands, and so this is the state of that person who has unalloyed loving devotional service to the Lord. Mukti swayam mukulitanjali sevate asman dharmartha kamagadaya samaya pratiksha. This is anashino aprameyasya. Aprameyasya. So it's immeasurable. So this is the spirit soul can never be destroyed, and it is immeasurable because it is infinitesimal. We have read in the previous purport that it is just giving an indication of the size of the estimate of the size of the soul. Keshagra shata bhagasya shatadha kalpitasya cha jiva bhagas tad avigneyam so anantyaya cha kalpate. So it is said that take the tip of the hair, divide it into 100 times, and that 100th fragment again divided into 100 times. So 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. So this is just an estimation, but it's an estimation to show how minute it is. But this is the understanding. So that's why it is immeasurable. So the size that is infinitesimal. So but that is the cause of that infinitesimal spirit spark is the cause of all the activities that each and every living entity is doing. Aprameyasya tasmat yudyasva bharata. So here Krishna is saying, so Krishna is giving Arjuna to keep engaged, do your activities. Karmanye vadikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phale heturbur, mate sangotsva karmani. So this is what Krishna says, that one has to keep doing the activities. The activities samsiddhi haritoshanam. Atha pombir dvija shreshta varnashrama vibhagasha swanushtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. So this is the most important thing in every activity that we do, that is haritoshanam. If it is satisfying Hari, Krishna. So this is the Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha, Varnashrama Vibhagasha. The Dvija Shrestha. So there is Dvija Bandhus and there is Dvija Shreshthas. Dvija Bandhus are those Brahmanas who are Brahmanas but not following any Brahminical activities. And Dvija Shrestha are the people who are the topmost Brahmanas, who are nicely following all the Brahminical activities. But it is said, so in this Sutta Goswami is saying that addressing everyone as Dvija Shrestha, the best Brahmanas. And what he is saying is Varnashrama Vibhagasha Swanushtitasya Dharmasya. So through the Varnashrama, one has to keep doing the regulative activities, whatever is within a particular Varna and Ashrama. One has to keep doing those activities as for samsiddhi haritoshanam. There's another beautiful verse, Jnane prayase udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya artham sthane sthita shrutigata tanuvan manubhe ye prayase ajita jitopi asitais trilokyam. So this is, Srila Prabhupada mentions this in many of his lectures and talks. This about this particular verse where it is saying that Jnane prayase udapasya namanta eva, that the Lord cannot be understood through the intelligence. If we are trying to understand, even if we are trying to understand the infinitesimal nature of our real constitutional who we really are, so that also it is difficult. It is not possible to understand through the blunt material senses, the blunt intelligence. But how can it be understood? Namanta eva. When one is humble enough to acknowledge that one does not know everything, so that humility, when there is that humility, namanta eva, then jivanti sanmukhritam bhavadiyavartam. Then one can be in the real state of mind to get the transcendental knowledge. When one is namanta eva, one is in the humility, in a humble state of mind, then jivanti sanmukhritam bhavadiyavartam sthane sthita shrutigata tanuvan manobhir. So what is said in that verse is one does not need to leave one's engagement that one is doing. So here Krishna is saying tasmat yudhyasva bharata. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna that therefore you do your activity of fighting, yudhyasva. So this is the same thing, sthane sthita. So saying that be at your place. There's no need to leave your place. Shruti kata tanuvan manobhir. But what needs to be done? While tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmaram yuddha cha mayarpita manor buddhir mame vaishyat asamshaya. So this is ma manusmaran. So this whatever time is left after doing the activities, if one can think of the Lord at that time, even for a moment, as a start. So this is sthane sthita shrutigata. So hear about the Lord, tanuvan manobhir, and then engage in His service through the body. Tanu, van is the speech, and mana is through the mind. So when one is engaging the service of the Lord through the body, mind, and speech, then ye prayase ajita jitopyasi. So when this is done, then Krishna is actually another name of Krishna is Ajita, one who cannot be conquered. He cannot be. Krishna can only be conquered by the love of his devotees. Nothing else conquers Krishna. So that's why it's called Bhavagrahi Janardana. So he's the only thing that the Lord is in need is the love of his devotees, because he is the possessor of everything. So what can the infinitesimally small living entities give the infinite Lord? Nothing except this bhakti. So that is the only thing. So bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. So only through bhakti can the Lord be known. And then he can be known in truth. Yavan yaschasmi tattvata. And once one knows janma karmam cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvata. So one who knows that my birth and activities are transcendental in truth. Tyaktva deham punarjanmam naiti. For such a person, there is no rebirth in this material world. Then what happens? Mameti, so Arjuna. Krishna says that such a person comes back to me. So this is this Udapasya sthane sthita shrutigata tanuvan manobhir ye prayase ajita. Krishna who is unconquerable, jitopyasi. So he becomes conquered. Asita is trilokyam. So this is just by being engaged in the loving devotional service of the Lord, whenever there is the time, and whenever there's time from, because like Arjuna is doing a fighting yudhyasva. So during the fight, the smaranam it might be difficult because the fight has to be done with full engagement, with full mind, heart, intelligence. Everything needs to be engaged in the fight. Only then the fight can be successful. So Arjuna is doing that, and he is doing it under Krishna's instruction. So this is Krishna is directly instructing Arjuna, and this is bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hi etaduttamam sa evayam mayate adya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hi etad uttamam. So this transcendental mystery, it's called mystery, It can only be known by a person who is in the frame of mind like Arjuna, as a bhakta or a friend or a sakha. Otherwise, the mystery of Bhagavad Gita can never be understood unless it is understood from the frame of mind of Arjuna, because Arjuna is the receptor, the first receptor of Bhagavad Gita, directly from the Lord. Partho vatsa sudhir bhokta, sarvopanishado gavo, dogdha gopala nandana, Partho vatsa sudhir gopta, bhokta, dugdham gitamritam mahat. This is said in this glorification of Bhagavad Gita, that all the Upanishads are like cows. Sarvopanishado gavo, dogdha gopalanandana. And the milkman is Gopalanandana, Krishna. Partho vatsa. And the first recipient of that is, who is the first recipient of the milk of the cow? It has to be first given to the calf. When the I've heard about this. When we want to get a lot of milk from the cow, first thing has to be done is the calf has to go and take the milk first. And in that love and affection that the calf has drunk the milk, the cow is ready to give lots and lots of milk. So this is a very beautiful simile given here, that Krishna is a milkman, and the first receptor of that receiver of that milk is Vatsa. This is the calf, Arjuna, Partho Vatsa, Sudhir Bhokta. Who is drinking this milk of Bhagavad Gita? One who is intelligence, Sudhi. So Dhi is intelligence, and Sudhi is one who has got good intelligence. So that is Sudhir Bhokta. So one who has got good intelligence is Bhokta, is taking that nectar of what? Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. This milk of eternal nectar of Bhagavad Gita. This is what we are trying to, when we are trying to have this monthly discussions. We are trying to engage in giving our time, our love, our everything for that particular time to the Lord. And then swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So this is the thing. So even though we are giving very less time, but because we are giving the time with 100% involvement and 100% inclination and 100% love for the Lord, that swalpam apyasya, that small engagement, trayate mahato bhayat, delivers one person from the greatest fears. Fear. The greatest fear is, as we said, abhinivesha. The fear of death is the greatest fear, because one is not realizing antavanta ime deha nityasyokta sharirina anashino aprameyasya tasmad yudhyasva bharata. Because one is not realizing that we are eternal, we are ever existing, we are never born, and we will never die. So anashino, nityasyokta sharirina, and anashino. This if this can at least initially at the intellectual level, and through continuous abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha guhyate, through practice and through detachment, when one can do that at experiential level as well, then there is no padam gacchantyanamaya. So then a person reaches that place where there is no misery, there is only bliss, 100% bliss, 100% involvement in Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।